Hey everyone, and welcome. So, buying a home in India, it's probably one of the biggest, most emotional decisions you'll ever make. And because it's so important, getting it right is absolutely crucial. Today, we're going to walk you through exactly how to do that with a super smart buyer's checklist.
So let's just jump right in with the question. Picture this. You're sitting across the table from a builder. You're about to negotiate for what you think is your dream home. What is the single biggest mistake you could possibly make in that moment?
And there you have it. According to legal expert Harsh Parikh, the #1 trap we fall into is focusing only on the price. We get so obsessed with getting a discount that we totally forget to ask the questions that really matter. Things like, is this project actually safe? Are the legal papers even in order? And this right here, this shows you the huge mindset shift you need to make. See, a typical buyer might haggle over a free parking spot or a club membership, but a smart buyer, they're asking, hey, is the title on this land even clean? Or do you actually have the approvals for the 30th floor apartment you're selling me? This isn't about saving a few thousand rupees. This is about protecting your entire life savings.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do you go from just assuming everything's okay to actually verifying it? Let's get into the essential checklists you have to run through before you even think about signing on the dotted line.
These 4 steps, you guys, are completely non-negotiable. First up, check the land title. Find out if the builder owns the land outright or if it's leased from the government. Second, verify the approvals and get specific. Make sure they have clearance for your floor. Third, you got to investigate the builder's history, their track record. And fourth, and this is a big one, check if the builder has a loan on the property. If they do, you must ask for the NOC, the No Objection Certificate. That little piece of paper ensures their bank can't come after your home later on.
And here's the thing that's kind of crazy. This isn't some secret hidden information. It's all publicly available. You can find it on government websites like your city's RERA site. But get this, an estimated 8 out of 10 buyers just don't bother to check. The power is literally at your fingertips. You just have to use it.
All right, let's move on. Beyond just the paperwork, how do you actually read the developer? How can you tell a serious, reliable company from a really risky bet?
Well, it really comes down to this. You have to stress test their history. See, it's not enough to know if they were successful when times were good. What you really need to find out is how they behave when things get tough.
Now, this is a fantastic way to do it. You have 2 perfect real-world tests. Ask them, or do your own research, about what happened to their projects during the 2008 financial crisis, and more recently during the COVID-19 pandemic. Did they abandon their sites and leave buyers hanging, or did they find a way to push through and deliver on their promises? How they acted in the past is the best clue you have for how they'll act in the future.
And you've got to pay attention to the signals they send in your conversations. A massive red flag is a builder who just says, "Don't worry, trust us, we'll handle everything." A green flag, that's a builder who says, "Here are all the documents. Please take them, verify everything for yourself." That transparency, that's the ultimate sign of a confident and trustworthy developer.
So what happens after you get the keys and move in? A lot of us think the builder's job is done at that point, right? But legally, that is absolutely not true. Their responsibility continues long after the handover.
For how long, you ask? 5 years. That's right. Under Indian law, the builder is on the hook for a full 5 years after you take possession of your home.
And what does that 5-year liability actually cover? Well, we're talking about the big stuff. Things like structural damage, really shoddy workmanship, major plumbing or electrical issues, even problems with drainage. If any of these things pop up because of the builder's fault, they are legally required to fix it on their dime, not yours.
Okay, for our final section, let's just zoom out for a second. There's a really fundamental difference between how a typical home buyer approaches property and how a strategic investor does. And honestly, understanding this can completely change the way you look at real estate.
So on one hand, you have the emotional home buyer. They pour their life savings, all their hopes and dreams into one single property. It's a deeply personal journey. But for a strategic investor, it's a cold, hard financial calculation. They aren't emotionally attached. Their goal isn't just to live in it. It's to buy it, wait for it to go up in value, sell it, and then reinvest that money. They are playing a completely different game.
Which, of course, leads to a really fascinating question. If these smart investors aren't just buying up apartments and office buildings, where is the really smart money going in Indian real estate right now?
First up, an area that is absolutely exploding: warehousing and data centers. Just think about it. The whole 10-minute delivery economy and new laws that require data to be stored locally, that has created this massive, urgent need for these kinds of buildings, especially right inside our cities. The second underrated asset class is senior living. As India's demographics shift, there is a huge and mostly unmet demand for specialized housing for the elderly, places that offer things like full-time nursing and dedicated care.
And third, organized student and rental housing. We're not just talking about PGs. Think professionally managed, fully serviced buildings designed for students and young professionals. It's a massive opportunity to bring some real structure to a market that's been pretty informal for a long time.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you think about your dream home, just pause and ask yourself, is that dream based on just a feeling, on an assumption, or is it a solid, fully verified asset that you've investigated like a pro? Because the answer to that question, well, it could be the difference between a dream come true and a total nightmare.